The Contact Import tool. As an administrator of Magazine Manager, you have the ability to import contacts. As you hire new sales reps, they come with their lists from their legacy system. You may procure lists from local organizations. Anytime you have a structured list you want to get into Magazine Manager, we do have a tool in order for you to import these lists. The first thing about the import tool you need to know is about data preparation. 90% of your effort in importing data is going to be spent in actually preparing the data file. I have a sample import data file here, and what you'll notice is that we have these standard columns for importing contact information. Company name, the contact name themselves, the company name, the contact name, and the thing about the contact name is you have to have each pieces of the name in separate columns. If you have a prefix, then you have a first name, a last name, job title. They all have to be separated out. You can import the contact type as a billing, sales contact, etc. If you want to put these people in the import directly into one of your contact groups, you can also have a column for contact group. Now for the contact group, if there are multiple contact groups you want to put them in the contact group column, simply put the contact group names comma separated. Okay, so we're going to have group and group number 2, for example, that you can put people directly into contact groups. You'll have the ability to upload phone numbers, phone 1, phone 2, phone 3. That's your primary phone number, your cell phone, and an alternate phone number. As well, you'll be able to import fax, email addresses, email 1, email 2, and the same with the name is the same with the address. Your address pieces must be in separate columns or separate data fields. Address 1, address 2, city, state, and zip. And then you definitely want to have your sales rep assigned in a rep column so that you can assign the rep during the import. And then finally, you can import a note, a single note column. So if you have some legacy notes, maybe you have a note column you want to put in here with the import, put whatever you want in that note column and import the notes. Now in the import file, you cannot have any skipped rows or columns. So for example here, I've inserted a blank column. This would be considered a skipped column. There's no data header in row 1. These are your data field names. There's no data field name, nor is there any data in the entire column. So you want to make sure and get rid of any skipped columns or skipped rows. Same thing with a row. If you have a blank row here for the data, then this blank row all the way across is going to actually stop the import tool. So make sure you don't have any skipped rows or columns. Your names are in separate fields. Your address elements are in separate fields. And make sure you have 20,000 rows or less. If you're importing more than 20,000 rows, you'll need to go ahead and break up that Excel spreadsheet into multiple spreadsheets with less than 20,000. Now once your data file is ready to go, we'll go ahead and make sure that data file is saved as a CSV file, comma separated value file. Depending on where you're getting your file from, if you have it opened in Excel, you can perform a save as, and then once you save this file as, you want to make sure and change the file type from an Excel file to a CSV MS-DOS CSV file. Once you have the CSV file all prepared, then we'll take ourselves back to Magazine Manager. Once our office has enabled the contact import tool for you, you will then go to Tools, and you'll find an option on here for Import Tools, Contact Imports. Now, if you have any prior imports done by our home office or maybe done locally, you'll see your prior imports here. Do not press the undo button. If you press the undo button, you will have undone that prior import and removed any contact records that were part of that import, plus any notes and activities that were added after. So to perform a new contact import, we're going to look for the contact import button, and then we're taken to our contact import tool. The first thing we're going to do is pick our CSV or XML file to import contacts. We'll choose the file, go to where your file is stored. I've got mine on my little Google Drive here, and I've got a sample file here for the sample contact import, the file we just worked on. Now on the right side here, we have the option of how do we handle duplicate contacts. Do we want to not import duplicates at all and just skip them? Do we want to import duplicates? Yes, even if our contacts already exist in Magazine Manager or Newspaper Manager. What I prefer to do is I want to say, let's import this contact as a subcontact contact of an existing company record. If the contact in our import, the company name matches exactly and address 1 matches exactly, then that import will import the subcontact into an existing company record already in your database. Once you have your file selected and determine how you want to handle your possible duplicates, let's go ahead and press the upload button in order to upload the file to the database. When we press save file to the database, at that point is where we're checking to see, are there skipped rows or columns? Are column header names duplicated? You can only have 1 column header or data field type name in your file, and if you have any errors, it will tell you that there's a skipped row or column, or that there's a duplicate column name at column number 12, something like that. But we don't have any problems with our file because now we're able to select column mapping. Now these fields that you see here in these headers, these are our column names. These are our fields in our import file. So all we need to do is map these fields to our contact fields. Customer is actually company name. Prefix gets mapped to prefix. First name goes to first name. And we'll just keep on mapping all the way down until we map all of our fields. Once the import is complete, you'll receive a summary screen giving you contacts to import as well as contacts imported. Now for the contacts that are imported, they're automatically placed into a contact group with the date and time of that import. So I'm going to go over here to the search tab. I'm going to come over to the contact groups, and I'll see that I have a new contact group, import contacts 2018 January 17th 1252. And when I select the contact group, I get a subset of my contacts that were imported during that contact import. And then of course you can double click into one of the accounts and see where all the data landed: first, last name, subcontact, production contact, Sandy, telephone number, and everything else. So that is the contact import tool. Now if you have a mistake, or if there were items that were skipped during the import, you'll view the skipped items with this hyperlink here. When you're done, go back to the list, and if you've made an error with the import and you want to redo the import, simply undo that import. It will delete those, in this case, 23 contacts. If we go back over to the search, refresh that search, there's nobody else in that contact group because I just undid the contact import and that contact was rolled back and rolled out. If you have any questions regarding the contact import tool, please schedule time with your software consultant and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.